Alright guys, so I'm now recording a screencast video summarizing the assignment and what you should do. So step number 1, right after the class, I'm going to go and upload all of our updated materials, and here's your grading rubric. So this assignment will be graded out of 100 points, and it's enough to do a 1-month reporting period, and you're going to get your Excel starter sheet as well, which does have more details. So make sure you study your Excel starter sheet. So there we have some further details right there in one of those tabs. And we have our transaction ledger, which can be your starter and give you an idea of some categories. And there was a simple example of a reconciliation for Mary, right, to sort of give you an idea of what this stuff would do in practice. And we saw that in our transaction ledger, we have a starting balance and we have an ending balance. So we have some money in our bank account at the start of the month, and we have some money in our bank account at the end of the month. And ideally, we would like that money to go up, right? Because if we're losing money, then it's not going to be very good. But some months, maybe you buy a big item, right? Maybe you're a lawn care service and you buy a new piece of equipment or something. And we're going to talk about how we amortize capital expenses later on, right? We'll talk about how if we have a large item like buying a new lawnmower, maybe we don't record the whole of that expense in 1 month. Maybe we record $250 a month for 4 months or something. That's amortization of capital expenses. That's something for later. But for right now, you go here, you get your assignment sheet, and you download it. And if you don't have Word, then just use Google Docs. And the learning outcome for this assignment, right? So from our course outline, it says practice recording business transactions in the general ledger that you will do for some real or imaginary business that you're organizing your general ledger around. And in future assignments, you're going to keep building on top of this. So by the end of the course, you'll have a complete general ledger for your company. The core concept we need to learn about is the concept of a transaction. So what you're really going to be doing in this assignment is making transactions. A transaction is a recording in the general ledger of money in or money out. It is tied to a date, which is the recording date, the transaction date. And it is classified as some category. Salary, payroll, equipment purchase, cleaning, right? Maybe it's income of some kind. So what are the kinds of services that your company provides? So you're a lawn care service, so you cut grass and you plant flowers. Maybe in wintertime you do snow cleaning. So those are all categories of income. And at work, you're going to hear terms like revenue centers and cost centers, which are often code numbers, but that's not something we need to do right now. If you become a professional accountant, which is a good job, right? I think, that's good money if you want to go and do that. You'll spend most of your time at work coming up with cost centers and revenue centers and figuring out the most optimal way to assign money in and money out to those categories. So let's get this in by February 7th. Which is next Sunday. And that'll give you then when we start studying for our tests, then our test will be on the 14th. But this will also help you understand the concepts for the test. So you're going to upload your Excel file. So you're going to download the Excel starter file. And create your transactions and create your reconciliation. And then once you're all done, name your file properly and upload it. And there's your hand-in link. And that's what I just said. That's repeating what I just said. So here's our core learning outcomes for this assignment as well as for test 1. So the purposes, we've already said, I've repeated this a bunch of times now. You're building a general ledger. And here's your grading rubric. It's out of 100 points. So 10 points to just hand it in on time in the proper format. And then 20 points. Does that add up? Yeah, I think that adds up to 100, right? 50, yeah. And so create 25 transactions. That'll get you 20 points. Create 10 categories. So your transactions are being coded according to those categories, remember? So you probably want to create the categories first. Maybe that would make more sense. So each transaction has a date, a category, a description, and it has an amount of money, could be in or out. And it has an updated balance, meaning an updated, the amount of money in the bank, updated bank balance. And then you do the reconciliation. Now, those of you guys who are still saying, I don't understand the point of this assignment, it is because your bank might cheat you or your employees might cheat you, right? Maybe you're operating a hair salon and people put the money in their pocket instead of putting it in the cash register. So you figure out that you've spent $2,000 on hair cleaning chemicals in 1 month. And because you're an experienced hairstylist, you sort of know, if I spent $2,000, maybe, I don't know, because my mother-in-law, when she was alive, she had a hair salon. Maybe you say, like, you know you've used $1,200 of shampoo because it's actually gone. You go to the shelf and it's just not there. It's gone. And you know from your experience in that business, if you've used $1,200 of shampoo, you should have $6,000 of income. And if you don't, either employees are putting money in their pocket, they're not, they're stealing from the store, they're pocketing the cash instead of putting it in the cash register, or maybe they're stealing the shampoo, or they're selling the shampoo and putting the money in the pocket, they're not recording it. So one of the big purposes of this activity is to detect fraud and make sure you're not being cheated. One of the big reasons for doing a reconciliation, in fact, I think it's the biggest one, if everybody was honest and nobody screwed up or made a mistake, maybe you wouldn't need to do a reconciliation. But one of the big reasons for doing this is to detect if people are either making mistakes or if they're deliberately cheating you. So that's what I would say for you students who are saying you don't understand how to do this or what's the purpose. If you assume everybody is honest and everybody will do things properly, maybe you wouldn't need to do this. But those two things are not true in the world. All right, so that's pretty much it. I'm running out of things to say here now, so you can also use your PowerPoint. There's some good resources here. There's a link right there on page 2 of PowerPoint, how to reconcile the general ledger. If you like, you can go and read that as well. That'll give more explanation of things I've said. And that's about it. I can't really think of anything else to say. So we're getting near the end of our class now. It's 2 o'clock. So do your very best for the assignment. And if it's not perfect, just hand it in anyway. Because once you try to do it once, even if it's not great, we can always make it better later on. It's 2 o'clock. I'm going to end the class now. Does anybody have any additional questions, concerns, worries, fears, nervous stresses or something? Honestly, if you get nervous about this, there's something wrong with you. Don't be worried about it. Any questions? No? No questions? All right, guys. Class is over. See you next week. Send me email if you want to know anything more. And class dismissed. See you later. Class dismissed. Bye. I'm going to go and upload all this stuff to Classroom now. Bye. Dismissed.